Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm your irrelevant host, Shorty. I realised my scarf was too high up, and I'm going to review a comic book today. We're going to review Duel, in fact, from Bliss on Tap Publishing, a company I'd never heard of until I saw this comic book, but I really like the look of the cover. I didn't really know much else at all about it, and you know what they say about judging books, covers, etc. Don't do it. Fine, totally get that. But every once in a while, something's going to land, and you kind of go, well, confirmation bias, I was right in the first place. But I was right. I love this. Like, genuinely, I'm not going to try and cover and pretend and like try and lead you down the path or anything like that. I'm literally saying right now, I have one copy of this in my store. If you've got a small local comic book store in you, check if they've got any. They might not. It's a small press thing. If they have a copy, ask them to put it on site for you so you can at least go check it out yourself. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you go and pick it up, though. There's a few things that might put you off, but I think these are, in the context of larger stuff, I think absolutely worthwhile. First off is the artwork. I absolutely love this artwork. It is gritty, it is scratchy, it is sometimes downright uncomfortable, but it's also elegantly done in its own way. It does exactly what it needs to do. It's all by the same guy, by the way. Alex Cormack does all the art on this one. There's one little bit I'm going to show you here. It's that like double panel thing there. Look at the guy's face. Not only is that brilliant line work and actually gets across what's going on, you can see the framing of the guy behind him, the coloration of the blood and the frame in frame. All that works really nicely. Now look at the coloring on the guy's skin. How one half is highlight white because of the lighting in this convenience store, the other green because of the light reflected off the terrible walls. That attention to detail for what is effectively in the middle of a very gruesome fight scene is brilliant. I think other artists could have taken the action as their primary focus there. And I don't want to say some people would phone it in, but when you look at that level of detail and how well they've done the coloring, how well they've done the shading using not quite cross-hatching, but it looks to be digital line work for shading, people who do shading and coloring at Marvel Comics need to learn how to do this kind of stuff well, because it's brilliant. It is organic, it feels realistic, it feels like somebody cared about what they're doing, rather than somebody who was paid to just go throw some color on somebody else's ink work. I don't know if it's just this thing where it's the same guy doing both sides of it. I couldn't tell you. I don't know the guy, but it's brilliant. On to the story now, and I kind of want to tell you a lot about the story, but I also don't. I think it's best discovered as is. So I'm going to tell you a few things about it which are absolutely great. Number one, brilliant dialogue. Very realistic, naturalistic dialogue. People talking to each other, they're actually having conversations. There's a few bits where you've got an interview situation, literally police or FBI interviewing somebody, and you do have some speech bubbles where you're not 100% sure is, so they literally just put the guy's name at the top of the speech bubble so you know he's speaking. It's not the best way of doing that. I think sometimes you see like the trick that DC do, which is they'll have like slightly different coloring or a slightly different logo for a speech bubble if they're not on screen. It feels like it's the same kind of thing. But obviously we don't know these characters. They don't have superhero identities and logos. They do the best they can with it, but it's mildly frustrating. They don't quite nail it. But the actual dialogue that you're getting is brilliant. There's an awful lot of great negative space in these conversation scenes as well. They're absolutely fantastic. On top of that, you've also got a brilliant world. This is a world very similar to our own, and it reminded me, the very first time I was reading this, of the first time I went and saw John Wick, which is that realization after the fight scene when they go to get him at his house, and the cop turns up, and he's just like, evening, John, and you get the impression that everything you thought might be true is not, because this cop knows him, and it seems like they're okay with it, and they're just going to have ways of solving this out, and they've got their own currency. It's that idea of a world like ours, but slightly shifted off-center. Just enough that it's more interesting, just enough that you get to make sure you ask some questions, but not enough that you're not going to recognize what's going on. The people exist in this world could exist in our world. The problems they are facing are problems we face in ours as well. Main character, not the ultra cool assassin you meet at the beginning, by the way. Main character is a kid in high school getting bullied because his surname sounds vaguely like it could be effeminate, and that's enough for horrendous people in high schools to bully him. And he doesn't go down the route you just expect for bullies of just going all out and like blowing up the school and stuff. He plans something and he does it effectively, and he knows how to handle himself and he knows how to handle a crowd. And I don't want to get too much into the plot, but honestly, it's brilliant and it's tense. Like every step of the way, it's tense. Every conversation feels like it's building something. Even when they do a 3-week time jump, you get a sense of like, oh my God, I can't believe I've done a 3-week time jump. What's happening now? Kind of moment. They don't waste time on ephemera and just filling stuff in. The only thing they do, which I absolutely love, but some people might not be for everyone. There's quite a lot of discussion about the legality of what's going on in this world. And I don't want to get into it too much. But it did make me think about stuff like American gun control laws, specifically about self-defense laws. I thought I was in danger, so I shot to kill. This kind of thing happens a lot, usually against racialized black people and also against trans women. I don't know if this is what these people are going for. I don't know the creators. I've not looked into their politics. Curtis Martins or Alex Cormick may be completely different mentally than I am, or socially or politically than I am. But it made me think, at least. It made me wonder what the point of getting into the legality of it was. Because I don't think that's a wasted moment. They have wasted so little time elsewhere that it feels weird that it was just like, now let's have a couple of panels talking about whether or not this counts as self-defense. Because effectively what it comes down to is, if somebody said, I bet you can't kill me, and then you killed them, your defense can't be, well, they bet me I couldn't. It's that kind of ridiculous legalese thingy, and I love it. Red Issue 1, going on my pull list. Genuinely can't wait to see how it plays out. I really hope it lives up to the promise. Can't wait to see the rest of this. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.